You, Barbara.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
Are you crazy? I'll kill you all. Nightmare you've ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
Boom, there we go.
And here we are, friends. Welcome to another Thursday evening on the Girls, Gore, and Gin channel.
Oh, excuse me. Hey-o, how have you been? Oh, my gosh.
Poor me. Poor thing. I know. I'm doing okay. I hope everybody out there is doing all right. We appreciate you joining us tonight. If you could please share as much as possible, that would be amazing. Thank you.
100%.
Thank you. Thank you.
Joel actually hopped on before we started. Because if you guys didn't know this, Facebook won't post anything, but YouTube, the moment you create a live, will have like a waiting room basically. So if I made this like 2 days in advance, there'd be a waiting room for 2 days. And I think it's
didn't
like
know that.
Yeah, so like literally, even if it's just a couple minutes, and he put a comment first, so appreciate that.
Thank you. Thanks for joining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tonight we're talking about the Christmas killings in Dayton, Ohio in 1992.
Good year.
So,
Good year.
let's hear what happened in 92? Oh, never mind. You were born in 92. Okay.
Yeah. Actually,
That's
in the beginning of the week too is the case we talked about with Diana Dawn going missing and they finding just her arms was in 92 as well. So apparently 1992 was a great year for births and a very dark year for death. So, keep that in mind. I am, excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, but hopefully Richard sees this because I have the cure for bad throat problems. My mommy taught me this, and it's tequila. So I like where your head's at. So.
Yeah, I'm living it up until January because hopefully it goes well, but I'm actually just only planning on drinking like, cheers. Hold on. Away from me. I'm planning on just giving it up, except say for like special occasions.
Like when we get to Texas.
Yeah. Like Texas, Frightmare, and like, I don't know if we do events and stuff, but I'm giving it up. I'm going to try to see. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to see how far, I know this has nothing to do with our topic, but hold on, let's cheers real quick.
Oh,
cheers. Sorry, I got lipstick on it. I already had some. Cheers, friends. Cheers, everybody. But yeah, I'm actually really trying to see where my fitness journey goes.
I love that.
Yeah. This year, I don't know. I have a feeling like if it's not going to be this year, it's going to be never because I'm already 34 now, which isn't old, but I'm approaching my 40s, and it's still a little ways away. But for now, I want to, I just want to take care of my body a little better.
I get that.
I think everybody should.
Bro, it's true. I will probably join you in that because I think saving them sweet, delicious alcohols for special occasions makes it even better anyway. So
It
I think that's
does.
a great call.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, so I don't know. Everybody always has their New Year's resolutions and things, but I'm actually really going to be focused on that this year. I really want to transform my body. I don't know. I just want a brand new body, basically. And you can't do that if you're drinking.
You're not wrong.
Even if you're eating healthy and you're not smoking cigarettes, you're not smoking weed, other things, like if you're still drinking alcohol, you're still gonna have the extra pounds. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. So
it makes it very difficult. You are 100% right.
Yeah, it's very difficult. So I'm just gonna be focused on that, and yeah. But for now, I got my tequila, and we're gonna talk about these Christmas killings. So I really, I'm just gonna get into really quick. I just want to talk about the suspects, or the killers, and I want to talk about the victims briefly. Just kind of get that out of the way. So, the first suspect, Marvalis Matthew Keene, who I thought his name was Marvelous. I thought his name was Marvelous, and I was like, is he? Is he really? I don't know. He was 19 years old at the time of the murders. He was charged with 5 counts of aggravated murder, and he was actually sentenced to death. Heather Nicole Matthews was 20 years old at the time. She was found guilty of aggravated murder and is currently serving 2 life sentences. Laura Jean Taylor was 16 years old at the time of the murders, which is insane to me, but it does happen. She was charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder, and 1 count of just regular murder, I guess. I don't know what the fucking difference is. There's aggravated murder and regular murder, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's not funny, but that made me laugh. Like, I don't know what the fucking difference is.
If you're upset while you kill someone, it's even worse. But if you're like kind of happy about it, it's okay.
Right. I guess. I don't know. She is currently serving 2 life sentences and 15 years for the regular murder. DeMarcus Maurice Smith was 17 years old at the time of the murders, and he actually pled guilty, and he's still serving 4 consecutive life sentences.
Oof.
So I'll just get into the victims really quick too, again, because there's a lot of victims in this. There's a lot of names. There's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm just getting this stuff all out in the open, who they were, what happened, all that. Victim number 1 was Joseph Wilkerson, who was shot Christmas Eve in his home, and he unfortunately passed. Victim number 2, also Christmas Eve, Danita Gullett. She was shot at a payphone. Victim number 3 was Jeffrey Wright. He survived. Victim number 4 was Richmond Maddox. Victims, he was shot on Christmas Day, murdered on Christmas Day, unfortunately. Yeah, that really sucks. And then the 2 other victims on the day after Christmas, December 26th, the first woman, her name was, oh shoot, I have it written down. I don't know why it wasn't written in this original thing when I was writing them down. Sarah Abraham, that's her name. Sarah Abraham was murdered on December 26th at her family's mini mart, basically like a little convenience store, like a little gas station type deal, during this robbery. And Jones Pettis was shot, but he survived, and he was 67. So those are all of the victims. And those are the suspects. So I'm going to go ahead and just get into what actually happened. Sorry, I have to adjust my mic really quick. So these people, oh God. First of all, I want to say that it's weird that a 20-year-old woman is hanging out with a 16 and 17-year-old. I will say that first off. Heather, what's her fuck? Fuck her. Fuck all of them, first of all. I will say that. Yeah. But fuck her for hanging out with teenagers. What the fuck is she? I mean, 19, 20. But like 17 and 16-year-olds, why are you hanging out with them? You're 20?
It's a little weird.
Yeah. And she was the only white woman in this, the only white person in this whole thing. And yeah. That just rubbed me the wrong way. That why are you hanging out with these younger people? And I don't know if she was grooming them, or I don't know how they even came to be in contact with each other, which I couldn't find that out. I have no idea how these people know each other. First of all, that's weird. So they call themselves the Downtown Posse, which... It was the 90s. Came up with these lame fucking names.
Yeah, it's not the first or the last one you're going to hear.
Yeah. It sounds like they're trying to be like, I don't know. They were trying to make their own like fucking
the precursors. The precursors to the Crips and Blood. I believe one of them was the Best Friend Gang. So don't. Yeah.
Are you serious?
And, that's not even a joke. And the group that the Iceman, Richard Kuklinski was in, his robbery gang was called the Coming Up Roses gang. So the names aren't exactly scary, but the people aren't the best people. So it's like they can call themselves whatever they want. They'll still kill you. So
what the fuck are they doing?
What
were they doing? Then again, they did have a 16-year-old in their group, and I guarantee she might have come up with the name, and they're like, "Yeah, cool,
like, fine, whatever. Just let her do it, whatever."
Right.
Name the damn.
Also, hold up. Sorry, I'm looking at the Santas behind you, and I'm a little bit distracted. What is going on over there? What's happening back there?
For all my Santas.
Oh, yep. There's the Black Santa.
It's Blanta.
Yes. Blanta. Yes, please.
He judges you.
Joey's parents have a Black Santa in their house too.
I have a living one because my little brother dressed up as Santa and went to school, and that's what we call him.
Stop it right now.
Not a joke.
No, it's just so weird. It's like it's just something like me as a white person. I never see like Black Santas like out everywhere, and I'm like always intrigued when people have them in their house. Like that's fucking dope.
Oh man, I'm gonna find it. I'm sending you a picture that you're going to get a kick out of if I can find
it. Sorry, I just got really distracted by your Santas. Also, I've got my little I have my mistletoe clips in. I've got like some candy cane earrings. I'm wearing a nice red like lacy shirt. I don't know, it feels very Christmas to me.
I like it. It works.
Yeah. I mean, horrible thing that we're talking about, but my fit looks good.
I was like, well, at least, because it's around the time, it's Christmas time in the murder cases. So
unfortunately, yes. Yeah. But also I look good.
It's true. It's very true.
Okay. So they called themselves the Downtown Posse. And Marvalis and Laura, 19 and 16, were dating at the time, which again, 19 and dating a 16-year-old, that's very inappropriate.
It's a little weird.
It's inappropriate. I mean, it makes sense if you're dating that person through high school, because I did I will admit I was 16 and had a 19-year-old boyfriend, but we went to the same church, and I'm not saying that it was right because it absolutely should not have been, in my opinion. Looking back now as an adult, like if some 19-year-old is sniffing around my 16-year-old daughter, I'm putting him in the ground.
Well,
I will say that, but he was allowed to date me because he was a good Christian boy.
There's a big difference between someone your family knows from a long time and someone who's skulking around high school. Big difference.
It's still honestly, to me, like, I get it if you're dating in high school and one of you graduates out of high school and you're still together and you're doing all that, like, fine, like, I get it.
Yeah.
It probably won't last. Some relationships do. Most times they don't. But for me personally, it feels really inappropriate.
And in this case, it was extremely inappropriate.
Ugh. Yeah, especially after all the things that they did to these poor people. I will say one of the victims, I cannot say fully that I am, and this is going to be controversial. This is not going to be a good take for most people. But the first victim, Joseph Wilkerson, was 34 years old.
Yeah.
And he was lured into his own home by a 16-year-old and a 20-year-old in the hopes of having sex with them. So this is where they started their fucking crazy shit. Their what did they call it on the news? Their killing spree. This is where they started their killing spree. Laura and Heather lured Joseph Wilkerson, who was 34, back to his own home. Joel, I know. You want to know, did he know she was 16? Look at her picture and tell me that you don't think this girl looks 16.
Let me get this picture back.
I don't care what she said. She looks like a fucking child. And the fact that they murdered him, I'm not 100% upset with. This is Laura Taylor on the very far right. She looks like a baby. She looks like a child. I don't care. And not even just this picture. The pictures of her booking, like when she got arrested, she looks like a baby. She's a baby. You can tell she's young. She's like smiling and shit. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She's a kid. And if you're in your 30s and you see a girl that looks like that, if you're turned on, then there's something wrong with you. Heather, I understand because she was 20, whatever, she was an adult. Yeah, she looks 12 at the oldest. Like, this dude was he kind of seemed like a pervert, to be honest. And I don't know personally. I can't say that I am okay with everything that happened. Of course not. But come on. Like, part of me feels like he kind of deserved it.
Cool. I don't want to point any fingers, but
I don't either. And that might be horrible to say. Maybe he was a good dude. I don't know. But to me, she looks too young to be inviting to your own house to have a threesome. Like, also, this person is a stranger to you. And the random girls come up to you and want a threesome, and you're like, yeah, sure, come to my fucking house. Look at this.
In his defense, most guys will not see that. They will totally be like, yeah, sure, of course.
But she looked so young.
I mean,
if thing too.
If it was two Heather Matthews, because she looks like 30. She looks old.
Yeah,
She looks
actually,
beat up.
that's crazy too, because we will, if we can find a picture of her after she was booked and arrested and after she served a little bit of time, she looked like an old woman compared to these people.
She looks beat up. But if there was
She,
two her age and they
yeah,
come up
yeah.
to you randomly, like at a bar or something,
Then
like
again, white people age like milk, so I don't know.
kind of true. It's a little bit.
That is true. But yeah, still, it was. I'm not going to say that what they did was right, but I'm
No.
also not going to say that this dude was completely innocent in trying to take these two girls back to his home and have sex with them.
I get that. I
He
totally
would
get
have been a pedophile if he would have had sex with this girl. Anyway. But they tied him up, and they Marvalis came in and he shot poor Joseph, and basically they all left him dead, tied up to his bed, and took his car and took they just sat in his house for a while and just ate all his food. They drove his car around. And their second victim, while they were driving around doing nothing, just whatever, causing fucking wreaking havoc, poor Danita Gullett was 18. She was on her way home and she stopped to use a payphone. Marvalis sees her and they stop, and he looks at her with the gun pointed and says, "Merry Christmas, bitch." And he shoots her through the glass while she's just using a payphone. And she eventually stumbles out and she's like pleading for her life. And he shoots her 9 times while she's pleading for her life. They steal her shoes and they steal her coat. They then went to Yuma Place, which was like a neighborhood around, like a street in the neighborhood. Jeffrey Wright was Heather's ex-boyfriend. So Heather, the 20-year-old, she, for whatever reason. Oh, I will say, before all this started, Laura, the 16-year-old, I guess they were all hanging around and talking, and then she said basically that she wanted to start some drama in their lives, and this is what led them on this rampage.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Oh my god,
that's so crazy. So Laura decides that she wants to fuck up her ex-boyfriend for whatever reason. So they go to his house. She lures him out. They fucking shoot him. He survives, but DeMarcus shot his legs up, and so he obviously had to go to the hospital and all that shit. So they then went to Laura's ex-boyfriend's house, who was Richmond Maddox. He was 19 at the time, and she coaxed him to get into his vehicle with her. So I don't know how she did it, but she got him into his car with her. So he's driving, she's in the passenger seat. They're just driving down his street, or a street, and they have the other 3 members of this fucking gang behind, and they're following him in this vehicle, and he's like kind of freaking out because he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And she shoots him point blank in the head, and jumps out as the car is still rolling, which is very sad. He died from his gunshot wound to his head. And they all leave, and on the day after Christmas, this was on Christmas, so the next day they go and they carjack somebody downtown. So they carjack a black Dodge Shadow, and they're driving around in this car. They stop at the mini mart that I mentioned earlier. Sarah Abraham was there working, and this was her parents' business. This is a family business that, her parents own. She's working for them, whatever. And there was also another customer in the store, Mr. Jones Pettis. He was there. They came. Three of them came in. One of them obviously had to stay in the car for like the getaway. They came in and they robbed her for $44. And they ended up shooting her and killing her anyway. She died 5 days later in the hospital from her wounds. The man that they shot was just there shopping, just buying some shit. And they shot him too. I think maybe because he might have been a witness. So they thought that if they shoot him too, maybe he won't be able to testify against them if they get caught. Now, if we go back and we remember the Yuma Place incident where they went and they shot who was it? Who at Yuma Place? The ex-boyfriend, I believe.
Yeah.
Of one of them, yes. The ex-boyfriend. They went back because they were worried that they were going to get caught by police. They were afraid of that. So they had to go and dispose of the witnesses. So they found an 19-year-old Marvin Washington and Wendy Cottrill, who was only 16 at the time. And they kidnapped them, basically, and drove them to a city-owned gravel pit kind of on the outskirts of town and shot them and left their bodies there. Sergeant John Hubert saw the Dodge Shadow that had been reported stolen, carjacked. He actually saw it driving around. So he had no idea that all of these different killings were connected until he saw this vehicle. He was like, this is a missing vehicle. Like, lucky him, like he saw it and was like, all right. So he had to perform a traffic stop because, like I said, it looked like it was a stolen vehicle and it showed up, and also, just so you know, Dayton, Ohio is not a really big town. It's not a really big city. As of, I don't know if it's now or a couple years or last year, there's like 180,000 people, which is not a lot if you think about it. Like for a town like Bakersfield, there's like over 1 million, I would think, right?
I think we're at 1 million now.
Yeah. So,
I think that includes all like the outskirts of Bakersfield too, but
right.
we're still a lot more of a population.
Right. So there's not a lot of people, and so of course he's probably like, "Oh shit, I know that car." So John Hubert saw it and he stopped them. Everybody cooperated, surprisingly, in this whole traffic stop. The only thing that I thought was fucking creepy and crazy that I'm glad didn't happen was Laura told Marvalis to shoot the sergeant. Yeah. She instructed him, like, you should shoot him. And he didn't do it for whatever reason, which is weird because they probably could have gotten away. Like, if they just shot him and drove out of town, they might have been able to get away, but thank the gods that they didn't do that. I didn't see any police interrogation videos. I don't know if it's because a couple of them were minors. Even with the adults that were arrested and interrogated, I didn't see any videos of them either. I saw a couple of interviews, but no interrogation videos. So I'm kind of curious on what happened with those. I'm kind of curious on what happened, like when they were questioning them.
Yeah, I don't see any. I didn't see any, at least.
Yeah, but, I looked. I couldn't find anything. A couple YouTubers that I watched a little bit of their videos on, they couldn't find any videos either. So like, all right, well, maybe there really is nothing. But yeah, Marvalis was actually executed July 21st, 2009, because he was like the ringleader of this whole thing, which I don't think he was. I think Laura was the one, the 16-year-old.
It sounds like it.
Which is weird. Yeah, because she's 16. But it's like, why are these adults listening to this child? Why are they listening to her?
I mean, either way, in these cases, a lot of times, like, this is one thing about at least the U.S. Justice system. If there's like a man and a woman who commit a crime together, the man usually gets almost double the sentences as the woman. That's
which is weird. I mean, it makes sense that she was a minor, but still, like, I don't know. That is a good point that you bring up too, because a lot of YouTubers were talking about that whole point.
Yeah.
In general, like, why do women get a lesser sentence than men for committing the same crimes?
Pretty much like identical crimes, and there'll be way different punishments. And a lot of 16-year-old boys who commit crimes like this will be tried as adults and given full adult sentences.
Yeah.
So they will go straight from juvie from like that 16 to 18, and the moment they turn 18, they will be sent to a full prison. So
I don't get that. I'm confused on that as well.
I have no idea what that is really about, because I don't know. Like, it just doesn't add up really.
Yeah. I think in this particular case, they wanted 6 people are dead at this point. They wanted to pin it on somebody, and they're like, well, we can't pin it on a woman, even though she was the oldest. Heather, she was the oldest out of all of them.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we don't want to pin it on teenagers, so we got to go for the oldest black man in the group.
And it could have just been who pulled the trigger the most, like if they all said he shot the most, like literally who did it, like not just who told him to do it.
He did.
Then yeah, that makes sense then too. Like the only reason that, excuse me, what's his name? Charles Manson wasn't sentenced to death is because he didn't actually do the murders.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's in life instead of actually put to death. I mean, even here in California, but the actual physical act of doing it makes it a lot more easily charged.
Right.
Excuse me. Gosh dang it.
You got this.
Like with the whole Bonnie and Clyde thing, a lot of it was both of them, but nobody wanted to believe that a woman would do that much murdering back then. So they just blamed Clyde for everything.
Right?
Yeah. So I think that also has a lot to do with the guy, or the society in general just has this weird aversion to like, no, ladies don't kill like that. That's impossible.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, ladies are also mentally ill.
They can murder the shit.
Yeah. Ladies, I mean, what's that? I haven't seen it yet, but that show that they just recently came out with, that show Pearl, I want to watch that.
Yeah.
I want to watch that and talk about it in January. I think we should do that for one of our new episodes. But yeah, Marvalis was the only one who, Marvelous, as I like to call him. I don't care. I'm going to call him Marvelous. It makes me laugh. He was executed in 2009. Everybody else got a life sentence. The thing that pissed me off, too, about Heather, the oldest one of this fucking group.
Yeah.
She said she was peer pressured by everybody to do it. Like, she wanted to just be with them and hang out with them and do everything that they were doing. Ma'am, you're 20 years old hanging out with fucking teenagers.
Weak-minded lady.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. Nah,
She's not even weak-minded. I think that's just a stupid excuse. It's an excuse. Like, I just wanted to be like them. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And yeah, she ended up just looking like shit.
Prison will do that to you, though.
Yeah. Well,
it's her fault.
Oh my God! Speaking of prison, will do that to you. Do you remember when that woman Pearl got arrested or for murdering her son, Gabriel?
No. Yes. Okay. The San Bernardino case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was super skinny, and like at her hearing in jail, she looked like she gained like 80 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy that, like you said, prison will do that to you. Like, yeah, she looked like fucking. She looks like how she. I don't know how to say this. Like, she looks like she would look on the inside, like her insides coming out to her physical appearance.
I get that. That makes sense.
She dies in prison. I hope they beat the shit out of her.
100%. I'm still upset that none of the what do you call it, caseworkers got any trouble for that either. That was upsetting, but that's a whole other story.
We're gonna have to talk about that one, and it might be we might actually have to put like trigger warnings and stuff. We don't usually do that with episodes, but this case was so fucking brutal. We might actually have to.
It's so fresh, and like there's so much, because like older cases, there's no real like video footage, or you don't have these high definition photos of situations, and then that one you have everything, and it's very it's jarring. It's jarring.
She looks like her soul. Thank you. That's kind of what I was trying to get at. She basically emulates her whole I don't know, disgusting being. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, but that's the Christmas killings of 1992. And
yeah, not really a rhyme or reason to it. Just a whole lot of terrible stuff. God.
Senseless for no fucking reason other than that they just all hated their lives and were angry people who just wanted to make other people suffer because they hated themselves. Yeah.
It's Merry Christmas. I don't. Yeah, it's terrible. It really is. But
all right,
there's so much terrible that it doesn't get spared around the holidays.
You know what's so fucking sad too? That girl Danita. She was 18 years old, still in high school. Granted, she was 18, but she had a baby. She had a toddler. That poor fucking thing. Like, her sister spoke at a couple of hearings too, and it brought me to tears. Just so sad. Senseless. Literally senseless. There was no reason. I mean, most times there's never any reason to do this to anybody or their family, but in this case it literally was just these pieces of shit who just wanted to wreak havoc on their city for no reason.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Hopefully, we have to do a lighter subject like next week or something. The last 4 episodes.
One of these days, I want to do something that actually has nothing to do with the macabre. Maybe just like once a month, just do like a fun.
Just do funny stories, like
a fun for no reason type of thing, you know.
We do the Florida Man stories. I think those will be fun. What do you think?
I am down for Florida Man.
Okay.
Thank you, Florida, for making all of your stories public and available for everybody to read.
Look up the Sunshine Law, because that is such a help.
Oh shit! Okay.
That makes everything that's not deemed like specific evidence to cases, like that won't hurt the case. Everything has to be available to the public. I love it. All right, people.
Get that out of my book. Done with this shit.
Clear out of here for tonight. Lauren, is there anything you want to make sure they know before we go?
Just follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Lex is back, so that's cool.
Very happy about that.
Yeah. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for Arizona. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. I think after the holidays, we're gonna start announcing some stuff that we've got in the works. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that. We still have one last episode before the new year. Or maybe wait, is it 2?
I think it's 2.
I think it's 2. Okay.
It's 2.
So yeah, we got 2 episodes left. As far as Thursday goes. Well, no, 4 total for
2022. Yeah.
The whole for 2022. But for California, we got 2 episodes left, y'all. So definitely, if you have any suggestions of things that you would like us to cover in the new year, let us know. I'm gonna keep asking the next 2 episodes.
I'm out there, yeah.
But yeah, let us know anything macabre, murder, horror, paranormal,
conspiracies, anything.
Yes, like a blanket, true crime, everything. Even if it comes to like, I don't know, government poisoning us. Technically, that's a crime.
Yes, it is.
They haven't been, Anyway, yeah, you guys know.
Yeah. All right, people. You'll have a great night. We will see you again next Thursday. Another topic on Tuesday as well. And you'll have a great weekend.
All right. Bye, Goo.
Bye, people.